Hello, welcome to MOC TV. Please like, share, and subscribe. Today, I want to talk about something that I'm not usually talking about, and it's got something to do with the real estate market in Ikoyi, especially in Lagos, and also people going around and showing houses in the United States and comparing it to Ikoyi, and also other part of Africa and comparing it to houses in Ikoyi. Yes, I can see some of the points in some of the problems in Ikoyi, especially. And also, I can see the bias and I can see inconsistencies. And also, I can see that they're not well versed when it comes to this topic that they're talking about. Because real estate is all about location, location, location. And if you're going to compare homes to each other, you have to do the same homes, the same locations, and the same prime real estate that you are showcasing. And for me, there is so many inconsistency and disingenuous, to be honest, when people talk about homes in Ikoyi and comparing it to homes in Atlanta or Dallas in the United States. For me, where I come in is if you're going to do that, you have to compare like for like. If you're going to compare a home in Ikoyi, you have to compare homes in New York because that's where you have to find the comparison. You can't go and compare homes in Abeokuta or, for instance, in Imo State and then comparing them to houses, prices in New York, in Manhattan. You can't do that. So you cannot compare homes in Ikoyi to homes in Dallas. Dallas homes are made with wood, wooden homes. And also, there's vast lands in Dallas that's still waiting to be developed. Homes in Ikoyi, they're rare. It's like homes in Manhattan, in New York. They're rare. That's why they're so expensive. If you want to talk about the environment, yes, I can understand that. If you want to talk about what does the homes actually provide for the people that live there, believe me, the homes in Ikoyi, for the price and like for like in Manhattan, New York, the homes in Ikoyi are superior to the homes in Manhattan, New York. And that's the only way you can really tell the truth about these real estates, properties that you're talking about. So if you now go and compare a home for $1 million home to $1 million home in Manhattan and $1 million home in Ikoyi, like for like, homes in Ikoyi would be that $1 million home in Manhattan, hands down, no comparison. And also, if you go to Imo State, for example, and compare the Imo State homes and the Dallas home that equal value, as for example, let's say $1 million home in Texas and $1 million home in Imo State, the Imo State home will be better, bigger, and we have probably maybe no more rooms, but the quality of the quality of the building itself would be better than the one in the United States in Dallas. So if you're going to be comparing things like that, you have to do it like for like. Now I'm going to really, dove into this and talk about flood in Ikoyi. Yes, the drainages are now very good. There's nobody can sit here and say, the drainages in Ikoyi are amazing. They're not. But If you look at the rain in Ikoyi compared to when it rains in the United States, I don't know. I've lived in Ikoyi and I've lived in New York. I spent time in New York. I spent time all over the United States, and I spent time in some part of the eastern part of Nigeria, and also in Lagos, Ikoyi, Banana Island, to be precise. I remember the first time I experienced the rain in Lagos. I actually thought there was a fire hose that had been turned on. That's how heavy that rain was. And it was on for about a couple of hours. I've never seen anything like that before. And yes, there was flood outside of Banana Island Road. You can see the drainage are now draining well. What I can see with that is a lot of people in Nigeria, they are enemy of their own roads because they throw trash into the drainage. Hence why it will take a while for the water to seep away and drain properly. Now, compare those kind of rain to one in New York. If rain fell like it does in Nigeria, in New York, is a standstill. Is complete standstill. There will be nowhere to go because it will be flooded in New York. You know why? Because New York is congested just like Ikoyi. Now, even in the UK, when you come to London sometimes, when it rains hard, like it do in Nigeria, I mean Lagos, like a normal rain in Lagos, if it rains here, everything stops. The trains stop working, the roads, well, some of the roads are you can't use it, you know. So for me is just telling the truth about these things. If you're going to compare real estate, location, prime area, you have to be truthful. Now, in Banana Island, if you live there, you have water access, which means you're easy to use boats to go to wherever you want to go to. Most real estate in America, well, I won't say America, I would say in Manhattan, you don't have that access. You can only take a train or drive. So for me, that's number one. The homes in Ikoyi, most of Ikoyi homes are superior just for that. If you want to talk about the roads, well, the roads in Ikoyi, they're not as great, right? If you go to Manhattan, there's potholes in Manhattan. Unless you've never been to Manhattan, you will see potholes there. But is it as bad as the one in Ikoyi? No. Okay? The good thing about Manhattan is that everything is being made easy. When you build there, you just need to plug and play. When it comes to your drainages, your electricity, your gas, everything is there for you. In Ikoyi, some of the houses, well, I would say for Banana Island and some of the houses in Ikoyi that I've been to, they do have something like that, but it's not as easy as the one in Manhattan, New York. Another thing that I noticed in New York is this. When you go to toilet more than two or three times in New York, it usually block the toilet. You have to be careful when using toilet. I've seen it happen in all over the United States. I remember my brother lives in Maryland, brand new house. We all went to visit him. By second day, the toilet was blocking because the infrastructure is not that great anymore. It's old. They need to renew it. So for me, my point today that I'm trying to make is that You should not just look at homes in Ikoyi and just hate it just like that, just because you think Dallas is better. No, it's not. Dallas is Dallas. Ikoyi is Ikoyi. Ikoyi is expensive for a reason. There's not a lot of land around those area. It's a prime location. It's where the 1% of the 1% of people in Nigeria live. The same as in Manhattan. It's the 1% of the 1% that lives in Manhattan. You won't find poor people in Manhattan. And most of the homes in Manhattan, they don't even have guest quarters like they will find in Ikoyi. You will find a 5-bedroom house with two, um, what do you call those things that the drivers and all those people stays. Get staff quarters there. You will find them there. You don't find such things, in a lot of homes in Manhattan. So for me, I would say if you're going to be truthful about real estate in Ikoyi area, you have to truly do your due diligence and also go to places that's actually like for like. Don't go to Abeokuta in Nigeria and then go to New York and compare the houses and look at mansions in Abeokuta and say, oh, look at how cheap they are. They're like $500,000 and they're better than the house that's worth 40,000, $40 million in New York, and say New York's homes are too expensive. That would be disingenuous. And that's what I find when I look at most of these YouTubers that goes around and complain about Lagos luxury home. Yes, did they use that term luxury and be looser sometimes? I believe so. But for what they gain in the prime location, I believe you can compare it like for like for New York. And I know a lot of people are going to find this a bit controversial or think what I'm saying is not true. But please go and look at homes in New York, in Manhattan, and compare to homes in Ikoyi in Lagos. Because like everybody knows, that is the most expensive street, most expensive location in Nigeria. So what do you expect? What do you expect? You're not going to expect it to be as cheap as other parts of Lagos. So let's do ourselves justice by saying the truth. Don't be emotional about this thing. Be factual. Ikoyi is what it is because it's the prime location in Lagos. And regardless, maybe you like it or you don't, it's just what it is. That's the truth. That is the truth. That's where most money lives in Nigeria. Anyway, that's my 2 pence. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts, whether you agree with me or you disagree. I'm going to see you in another video.